Tom Downey here for Vikings Now. What you're about to see is our top 25 free agents list that was actually first filmed on NFL Daily on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. But we figured since NFL free agency is just around the corner, you guys would appreciate it as well. Not every player makes sense for the Vikings, obviously. So let me know in the comments section who you want the Vikings to sign during NFL free agency. We're breaking down the top 25 NFL free agents with the franchise tag window now closed. There will be some players cut depending on when you watch this. If you watch on like a Monday, probably be some notable guys who got cut in between that time frame there. But the top 25 as they sit currently, 25-1, Juju SmithSchuster first up. The touchdowns weren't great for the Chiefs, but as a possession slot receiver, there is still value. Also worth mentioning, the wide receiver market is not very good this year, and that could lead to some big deals. Fun dark horse for, wow, he got how much money? Guy of the year? Allen Lazard of the Packers, which I wouldn't get it. Cameron Sutton of the Pittsburgh Steelers next up here. Cornerback class is actually decent. Especially if you want a number two. We'll see if Pittsburgh can retain Sutton, but in terms of cornerback free agencies, probably in that top 5 range. A guy I've always liked, by the way, in the NFL. We'll stick with our corners and move to Jonathan Jones of the New England Patriots. Patriots corners haven't always gotten paid the way we thought they were going to. I wonder if something similar happens to Jones. Currently a free agent, it can sign whenever. Odell Beckham Jr. He's been on our top free agent list for over a year. I can't ever recall that happening. Not even Cam Newton had that happen to him. Not even Jadeveon Clowney. They got signed eventually, and other guys like maybe a Russell Okung got knocked off. By the time we got the next version of free agency. Beckham's out there. We'll see what he wants versus how much he's going to get with the injury. But do you want your team to sign Odell Beckham Jr.? OBJ for yes or no BJ for no. Player I'm not as high on is Zach Allen. The numbers were actually pretty darn good this year. And if you compare it to the next guy on our list, that is Marcus Davenport at number 20, you can make an easy argument for, hey, Zach Allen should be higher. I mean, he had 5.5 sacks. Davenport had I think 1 this past year. I think Allen did benefit, though, from playing alongside J.J. Watt. Allen benefited. Davenport has more upside there. I think Davenport has to sign a 1-year prove deal, but the upside talent, untapped potential still is there. Offensive line play is always bad in the NFL. Outside of maybe a couple teams, everyone goes, man, I'd love to upgrade on that player. That's why Juwan Taylor is number 19 on our list, the Jags offensive tackle. Does Walker Little get a chance at right tackle? They ended up paying Cam Robinson, the former second-round pick out of Florida. It's been good enough in Jacksonville, which there's a lot of teams that would kill for good enough at this point. Today's pinned comment. Who is the best free agent in the NFL free agency class for 2023? Head down to the pinned comment, especially the ad break comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Number 1 free agent this year. Number 18, Kaleb McGary, who was not great until this year. Great timing for him. I suspect a pretty significant contract will be coming his way. O-line play is rough. Teams will overpay that spot because they just don't have other viable options. Number 17, our top receiver, Jacoby Myers out of New England. By the way, no running backs made this list with all the franchise tag guys, but several ended up being it's a good depth class, but not like top 25 group. Myers, a slot receiver, could get whispers were $20 million. If he gets that, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Dalton Schultz, the top tight end this year. I get Austin Hooper vibes, but not necessarily a bad thing there. He hasn't been as good when Dak's been banged up, but that's been how good Dak Prescott is, I think. Teams will have interest there. A good tight end class, though, for the draft could bring down his value a little bit. Someone who has not officially been cut yet, but will be on March 15th and make him post June 1st, save more money, is Bobby Wagner. There will be interest there. Seattle, Dallas, of course, were linked. Seattle cut him last time. Now players have been recruiting him already. Dallas was linked last time. potential option there. Who will end up signing Bobby Wagner? Get your predictions in for me in the comments section of today's video. A younger linebacker, and although I don't think he's as good as Wagner right now, youth matters in free agency, is Tremaine Edmonds, who's still super young. By the way, there's a whole benefit of drafting him coming out. Edmonds is 24 years old still. There are rookies this year who are older than Tremaine Edmonds, and he's a free agent now, so to get his second contract. Coming off a big-time year, a big step forward, he's going to get a bag. Jordan Poyer, the safety, is older, also of Buffalo. He's kind of made comments about wanting to go to a tax-free state, which helps a little bit, even though you still got to pay taxes when you play road games. But hey, maybe it's like Miami would make a lot of sense for Jordan Poyer. Yannick Ngakoue, next up here, the Colts defensive end. He's been a consistent 8-sack guy. I don't love him as a run stopper. I think the ideal spot for him is he's your number 3 situational pass rush guy, but that's very valuable, so teams end up paying more, making him a starter there. He'll have interest this offseason once again. Now, if you want more NFL news, rumors, buzz, everything else in between on NFL free agency, if you haven't already, I'm once again asking you to subscribe. Free videos all off season long, so do not miss out. Make sure those notifications are set to all and subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. One of my favorite players in the NFL, he's older, I will happily acknowledge that, is Lavonte David, the Buccaneers linebacker. I still think he's better than Devin White is, although that might not last for too much longer given their age. The age will bring down David's contract, but he's still a damn good football player. Our first and only quarterback on the list, thanks to retirements of Tom Brady and extensions, etc. Derek Carr got signed already, is Jimmy Garoppolo of the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know where he ends up or what his deal ends up being like. Maybe it's the Geno Smith contract. I doubt he's getting Daniel Jones money. The Jets make sense if they cannot land Aaron Rodgers. Team like maybe the Patriots, the Raiders down in Miami has expensive insurance for Tua. All makes sense. I think once the Lamar Jackson maybe domino falls and the Aaron Rodgers one fall, Garoppolo will find his next spot. Dre'Mont Jones, I'm a big fan of him. Plenty of buzz, though, that the contract might be a lot of money in the $20 million per year range. I like him coming out of Ohio State. That's probably too much money for me. But you saw what the Bears tried to give Larry Ogunjobi last year before that deal fell through because of medical. Jones is better. He's going to get more money. That's one to keep an eye out there for. Number 8, that's linebacker David Long, 86 tackles in only 12 games. Now, he's missed time each and every game of his NFL career, but the overall production has actually been very impressive. Coming to his best year ever, 5 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 7 tackles for loss as well. Young, talented linebacker. Tennessee will try to keep him, but I got that Jeffrey Simmons deal coming down the pipeline. This is now the Philadelphia Eagles portion of today's show. 3 of the top 7 players play for the Eagles. They did not use the franchise tag. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, that kind of nickel safety hybrid role, the best trash talker in the entire NFL, is probably going to command high-end safety money, which is more than what nickel corners make, by the way. Very curious where he ends up going. The Saints traded him away to Philadelphia. Eagles might get a better comp pick back than what they gave up in exchange for Gardner-Johnson in that deal with the Saints. The fun game we will play on Monday. What team is going to agree to a deal with an outside free agent first, and who is it? What is it going to be? It's always someone kind of random. It's never like, Jessie Bates is on. That's not how it normally goes. So which free agent signs with a new team first? Guys, re-signing do not count. Get those predictions in for me in the comments. Mike McGlinchey, number 6. I guess this was the Niners portion to an extent. I know that some Niners fans don't like McGlinchey. I understand that. I do. But he is a starting caliber right tackle in the NFL, bordering on above average. And you guys remember what Nate Soldier got a few years ago when he went to the Giants, like a record-setting deal? Probably not going to be that extreme, But McGlinchey will get a bag from somebody because there are teams just desperate for offensive line talent. Number 5, Jamel Dean, the Bucs corner. I like him. Tampa has already paid Carlton Davis. They got other deals in that back end coming soon. I bet he leaves this offseason. The number 1 corner for me is James Bradberry. Now, age is a factor here, but Bradberry, and he's been a little bit inconsistent. Some good years, some bad years mixed in there. But I thought he was awesome alongside Darius Slay this year. Now, we'll see if he regresses a bit without having the top 10, top 5, whatever corner across from him. But Bradberry is a great football player, and I can't wait to see what Javon Hargrave gets on the open market. Eagles have crushed some free agency moves. I mean, the 3 guys we mentioned for them were not players that they drafted. They signed Bradberry after a cut. They signed Hargrave a few years ago, traded for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and Hargrave, I think, is itching to get maybe $20 million a year or more on the open market. A team like Chicago, by the way, would be a great fit for him. Jessie Bates was not tagged. He's gone. He wants more guaranteed money. The Bengals have come close to offering him. He will leave in free agency and end up somewhere else. Number 1, Orlando Brown. I was pretty surprised Chiefs did not franchise tag him. I think they want to have a plan longer term, and that's what they're letting Brown, I assume, leave in free agency. Is he the best left tackle in the game? No. Is he still really good and in that top 10 range? Yeah, which means he's going to get a lot of money from a desperate team in the open market. So that is our top 25 free agents list. I'm curious who ends up signing first. Again, we will be live during NFL free agency. Do not miss out. Hit that subscribe button right now.